She hired me to protect her ranch. 300 acres, 200 head of cattle, one woman trying to hold on to everything her husband built. Her name was Sarah. Auburn hair, hazel eyes, hands that could work a ranch but shouldn't have to. Partner, I took the job, thought I could save her, save the ranch, save everything. But you know what they say about the best laid plans? I failed, and that failure, it cost her everything. Spring 1878, Montana Territory. I rode into the Morrison Ranch looking for work. What I found was a widow standing on her porch with a rifle. "You Jack Donovan?" she called out. "Yes, ma'am. Town said you were looking for ranch work. That true?" "Depends on the work." Sarah lowered the rifle, stepped into the light, and partner, when I say she was beautiful, I mean the kind of beautiful that makes you forget you're a drifter with nothing. Auburn hair pulled back, hazel eyes that looked right through you, work dress that showed she wasn't playing at being a rancher. "My husband died 6 months ago," she said. "Cattle rustlers have been hitting every ranch in the valley. Mine's the last one standing. I need someone who can protect it. Just you out here? Just me. 300 acres, 200 head, and not enough hands to work it." You know what I should have said? I should have said no. Should have rode out right then. But then Sarah looked at me with those hazel eyes and said something that changed everything. "I can't pay much. Room and board, $50 a month. But if you help me save this ranch, I'll give you 10% of everything." Partner, I wasn't a greedy man, wasn't looking for riches. But the way Sarah said, "Help me save this ranch," like I was her only hope, I stayed. And that decision, that sealed both our fates. First night, Sarah explained the situation over dinner. The rustlers hit at night, take 10, 20 head at a time, enough to bleed you dry slowly. 4 ranches in this valley have already sold out and left. Who's behind it? Clayton Burke. Owns the biggest ranch north of here. Wants to control the whole valley. He's been making offers on my land. Low offers. And when you refused, the rustling started. Sarah's voice was hard. My husband confronted Burke about it. Week later, Tom was found dead. Trampled by horses, they said. You don't believe that. I know Burke killed him. She looked at me. That's why I need someone who can fight. Someone who won't run when things get bad. I'm not a hired gun. I'm not asking you to be. I'm asking you to help me protect what's mine. Partner, that's when I understood. Sarah wasn't looking for a killer. She was looking for someone who believed her ranch was worth saving. And fool that I was, I believed it too. But here's what I didn't know yet. Burke wasn't just after Sarah's land. He wanted her, and he'd already decided if he couldn't have her one way, he'd take her another. That information would have been real useful to know on day one, but I didn't learn it until it was way too late. Days turned into weeks. I worked the ranch, mended fences, moved cattle, fixed the barn roof. Sarah worked beside me, and partner, when I say she could work, I mean she could outwork most men I'd known. She'd be up before dawn, feeding stock, checking fences. Her hands blistered and bleeding, but she never complained. "Your husband teach you to work this hard?" I asked one day. "My father, he built this ranch from nothing. Tom inherited it when we married. Now it's mine." She looked out at the land. "I'm not letting Burke take it." "What if you can't hold it?" Sarah turned to me. "Then I go down fighting, but I don't quit." You know what? I believed her. And more than that, I started to care. Not just about the ranch, about her. The way she'd smile when the work was done. The way she'd sit on the porch at sunset, looking out at land she'd die for. The way she looked at me sometimes, like maybe I was more than just hired help. Partner, that was dangerous for both of us. But then something happened that made everything worse. Clayton Burke rode onto the property, bold as brass. 6 men with him. "Mrs. Morrison," he called out, "we need to talk business." Sarah stepped out with her rifle. I stood beside her. Burke looked at me. "Who's this?" "Ranch hand," Sarah said. Burke smiled, cold. "Sarah, I'm making you one final offer. Twice what your land's worth. Take it and walk away." "No." "Then you know what happens next." And partner, that's when I knew this wasn't gonna end peacefully. That night, they hit us. 20 riders, maybe more, came in fast under moonlight. They weren't after cattle this time. They were after the ranch itself. "Jack!" Sarah screamed from the house. I grabbed my rifle, ran for the barn, saw riders everywhere, torches, fire spreading. They'd set the north pasture fence on fire, cattle scattering, chaos. I fired, dropped 2 riders, but there were too many. Burke himself rode up to the porch. "Last chance, Sarah. Sell or burn. Go to hell." She fired at him, missed. Burke laughed. "Have it your way. Partner, I've been in fights before, but this was war." I fought my way to the house, grabbed Sarah. "We have to fall back." "No, this is my land." "Sarah, there's too many." "I don't care." She was crying, furious. "I don't quit." But then one of Burke's men threw a torch through the barn window, and just like that, everything started burning. You know what the worst part was? I couldn't save it, couldn't save the barn, couldn't save the fences, couldn't even save the cattle. All I could do was pull Sarah away from the flames, hold her while she watched everything burn. Burke rode past us, tipped his hat. "Offer stands, Mrs. Morrison." But the price just went down. Then he left, and we were alone with the ruins. Partner, that's when Sarah broke completely, and I had nothing to say that would fix it. Dawn came. The ranch was destroyed. Barn, ash. North pasture, burned. Cattle, scattered or dead. Sarah sat on the porch steps, silent, staring at nothing. I tried to comfort her. "We can rebuild." "With what?" Her voice was flat. "I have no money, no barn. Half my cattle are gone." Burke wins. He doesn't win until you quit. I already lost. She looked at me. "Jack, I hired you to protect this place. You couldn't." Partner, those words hit harder than any bullet. "I know," I said quietly. "I failed you. Yes, you did. But then Sarah stood, walked to me. But you tried, and you're still here. That's more than most would do." And she kissed me then, desperate, broken, like she was drowning and I was air. When we broke apart, she whispered, "I'm selling tomorrow. Burke can have it." "Sarah, it's over, Jack. I lost. But partner, here's what neither of us knew. Burke wasn't done yet. Not even close. And what he did next, that was the worst part of all. That night, Burke sent one man back, not to burn, not to threaten, to deliver a message. "Mr. Burke says the offer's changed," the man said. "He'll buy the ranch for fair price, on one condition." "What condition?" Sarah asked. The man looked at her, then at me. "You marry him, leave the drifter behind, become Mrs. Burke." Partner, I've seen some low things in my life, but that was the lowest. And you know what Sarah said? "Tell Burke I'll think about it," Sarah said. The man rode off. I stared at her. "You can't be serious." "Why not?" Sarah's voice was bitter. "I'm broke. The ranch is destroyed. Burke gets what he wants either way. At least this way, I keep some of it. You'd marry that bastard?" "I do what I have to do to survive." She turned on me. "You don't understand, Jack. You can leave. Ride out tomorrow. Find another job, another place. So can you. No, I can't. Tears in her eyes. This ranch is all I have. My father built it. My husband died for it. I've bled for it. And if marrying Clayton Burke is what it takes to keep it, then what? You'll live with the man who killed your husband? Sarah went quiet. That's what you believe, isn't it? I pressed. That Burke had Tom killed. Yes. And you'd marry him anyway? I don't have a choice. Partner, that's when I realized Sarah was broken completely, and I couldn't fix her. But I could give her a choice. What if we fight back? I said. Fight? Jack, we lost. We lost the battle, not the war. Burke wants you broken, desperate. That's why he made that offer. He wants you to think you have no choice. I don't. You do. We burn his ranch, scatter his cattle, make him hurt the way he hurt you. Sarah stared at me. That's insane. Maybe, but it's better than marrying him. She was quiet for a long time. Then, if we do this, we're both dead. Probably. And if we fail, I lose everything. You've already lost everything. And partner, you know what Sarah said? She smiled, first time since the fire, and said, "Let's burn it down." We spent 2 days planning. Burke's ranch was 20 miles north, bigger than Sarah's. More hands, more cattle, more everything. But he'd also left most of his men back home, thinking Sarah was beaten. We go at night, I said. Set fire to his barn, scatter the cattle, hit him where it hurts. And then what? Sarah asked. Then we run. California maybe. Start over. You'd come with me? Where else would I go? Sarah looked at me. And partner, the way she looked, like I was the first good thing she'd had in months. Jack, if we do this, there's no going back. Burke will hunt us. We'll be fugitives. I know. And we'll lose everything. The ranch, the land, everything my father built. We already lost that. Then what's the point? I took her hand. The point is, you don't quit. You don't let Burke win. You fight. And even if you lose, you go down swinging. Sarah kissed me. Okay, let's do it. Partner, that was the moment we sealed our fate. For better or worse. And mostly, it was for worse. We rode out that night, 2 people against an empire. Burke's ranch was quiet when we arrived. Guards at the main house, but the barn? Empty. We moved fast, set the fire, cut the fences, drove the cattle out. Within minutes, the whole place was chaos. And partner, for about 10 seconds, we thought we'd won. But then, Burke himself walked out of the barn, gun in hand, smiling. I was hoping you'd try this, he said. And that's when I realized we'd walked right into a trap. 20 men surrounded us, all armed. Burke walked closer. Sarah, Jack. I admire the effort, really. But did you think I wouldn't see this coming? How did you know? Sarah asked. Because I know you. You don't quit. Tom was the same way, stubborn to the end. Burke smiled. That's why I had to kill him. Sarah went white. You admit it? Why not? You're both about to die anyway. He looked at me. Jack Donovan, drifter, nobody. You should have rode on when you had the chance. Probably. Now you die with her. Romantic, I suppose. Stupid, but romantic. Burke raised his gun, aimed at Sarah. And partner, I did the only thing I could do. I dove in front of her, took the bullet meant for her heart, and hit the ground. Blood everywhere, pain like fire. Sarah screamed, dropped beside me. Jack! Run, I whispered. No! Sarah, run, please. But she didn't run. She grabbed my gun, aimed at Burke, and fired. The shot went wide, but it gave her a chance. Burke's men scattered, confused, and in that moment, Sarah did something I'll never forget. She chose me over the ranch. Sarah dragged me to the horses, threw me over the saddle, rode. Burke's men gave chase, but Sarah rode like hell itself was behind us. We made it to the hills, lost them in the dark. By dawn, we'd made it to a canyon, safe for now. Sarah patched my wound, crying, "You idiot, why did you do that?" "Because I love you," I said. "You're dying, maybe, but you're alive." Sarah kissed me. "Don't you dare die on me, Jack Donovan." But, partner, here's the truth. I was already dying, and we both knew it. The only question was, would I live long enough to see her safe? Spoiler, I didn't. I lasted 3 days in that canyon. Sarah tried everything, cleaned the wound, stopped the bleeding, but the bullet had gone too deep. On the 3rd day, I knew it was over. "Sarah," I whispered, "you need to go. Burke's still hunting you." "I'm not leaving you." "You have to. Take the horse, ride to California, start over." "Not without you." "I'm not making it out of here." I squeezed her hand. "But you can, please." Sarah cried, held me. "This isn't fair." "Life never is. I love you, Jack. I know. I love you too." I looked at her. "Promise me you'll go. Promise me you'll live." "I promise." That was the last thing I heard. Sarah's promise. Then the world went dark. Partner, I died in that canyon. Failed to save the ranch. Failed to save myself. But I didn't fail to save Sarah. And sometimes that's all you can do. You save the one person who matters, even if it costs you everything. That's what love is. Sacrifice. Sarah buried me in that canyon, left a marker, then rode west. I don't know if she made it to California. Don't know if she started over. Don't know if she ever found peace. But I hope she did. I hope she lived. I hope she found happiness. Because, partner, that's what I died for. Her chance to live. And if she got that chance, then I didn't fail after all. Maybe I saved something after all. 10 years later, California. Sarah Morrison, no, Sarah Donovan, she called herself, owned a small ranch outside Sacramento. Nothing like the Montana spread. Just 50 acres, a few cattle, a simple life. But it was hers, free and clear. No one trying to take it. No one threatening to burn it down. She never remarried, never looked at another man. Every year on the anniversary of my death, she'd take a day, sit on her porch. Remember the ranch, the fight, the fire, the bullet. Remember me. People asked her sometimes why she never moved on, why she stayed alone. And Sarah would smile, sad but peaceful. "I had my great love," she'd say. "Some people never get one. I had mine. That's enough." Partner, I don't know if Sarah was happy, but I know she was free. And that freedom, I bought it with my life. And was it worth it? Ask Sarah. She'd say yes. Would I do it again? Every time, because some people are worth dying for. And Sarah Morrison, she was one of them. The last ranch. That's what they'd called Sarah's place in Montana. It burned. Burke took the land, built his empire. But he never got Sarah, never broke her, never won. Because Sarah survived, started over, built something new. And that was her victory. Not the land, not the cattle, not the ranch. Her life, her freedom, her choice. That's what I died for. And partner, I'd do it again. Every single time. Every single time. People say I failed, lost the ranch, lost my life, lost everything. And yeah, from one angle, they're right. I didn't save Sarah's ranch, couldn't protect her land, couldn't even live to see her safe. But here's what I did do. I gave her a choice. When Burke tried to force her into a corner, I gave her an option: fight or surrender, live or die. And Sarah chose to fight, chose to live, chose freedom over safety. That choice, that's what saved her. Not me, not my gun, not my protection. Her choice, her strength, her refusal to quit. I just made it possible. And partner, if that's failure, I'll take it. Because Sarah lived, she survived, she built something new. And that life, that's my legacy. Not the ranch I couldn't save, not the battle I couldn't win, not the land that burned, the woman who survived, the life she built, the freedom she chose. That's what I died for. And if you ask me if it was worth it, I'll tell you what Sarah would say: yes. Every single time, yes. The last ranch taught me something. You can't always save what you want to save. Sometimes the land burns, the cattle scatter, the dreams die. But people can survive, can start over, can build again. And if you give them that chance, even if it costs you everything, that's not failure, that's love. Sarah Morrison lost her ranch, but she kept her life, her freedom, her soul. And I lost my life, but I kept something more important: the knowledge that I mattered, that my sacrifice meant something, and that Sarah was out there somewhere, living the life I died to give her. Partner, some jobs you can't win, some fights you're gonna lose, some ranches you can't save, but some people are worth dying for. And if you find one of those people, don't let them go. Don't quit on them. Don't fail them, even if it costs you everything. Even if you die trying, because that's what love is: sacrifice. And partner, I'd make that sacrifice again, every time. N for Sarah, for the last ranch, for the woman who survived. Every single time. Partner, if this tale moved you, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me where you're listening from. Until next time, may your trails be clear and your sacrifices count. NTH, The Last Ranch, taught me one thing: it's not about what you save. It's about who you save. And Sarah Morrison, she was worth saving. Ride safe, partner.